Hi guys, and welcome back to another video here on MTT Finance, the channel where I take you through the journey with me of paying off my student loans that I acquired while in school for occupational therapy, earning my master's degree. If you've been following this channel for any length of time, you know that I started off with $140,000 worth of student loan debt. And over the course of the last 2 to 3 years, I've been faithfully paying off as much as possible each month on my student loans so that I can get out of this debt situation as fast as possible. One of the reasons why I am so excited to share with you guys this month's student debt update. This month, we're actually going to have a pretty significant positive decrease in the amount of student loan debts I have. So at the time of filming this, it's been around 2 months since I posted a student debt update with you guys. And I apologize for that. Like I explained in my update video, I just had some family things going on and I had to set some priorities straight and get things worked out. But what I would like to do first in this video, before we punch in the new and updated numbers for these loan amounts, let's go ahead and review what it has been in the past. So as most of you know, I like to use what's called the avalanche debt payoff method, which is where I tackle and target the highest interest rate account first before I go after the ones with a lower interest rate. To give you guys an example of what that actually looks like, if we take a look here at my debt spreadsheet, you'll see that Sallie Mae loan number 1 is 7.13%, which is obviously higher than Sallie Mae loan number 2, which is around 3.8%. So I've been throwing more money at this top loan here, this 7.13%, because that is the loan that is going to be taking the most out of the principal payments that I put towards it. That's a lot of P's there. But this loan is going to chew up the most amount of my payments. So I want to get rid of this one as fast as possible. So at the last update, this loan amount was around $6,800, just about $6,900. And my Sallie Mae loan at number 2 was just over $12,000. I think the last time I recorded one of these videos, it was September. So now we have a little bit of a 2-month gap, but that's okay. That means we're gonna see some big reduction in the amount of debt I have left, especially for Sallie Mae loan number 1, which, as I just said, is the one I target the most aggressively. How I structure the payments out for these loans is that every month on the 10th of the month, I contribute around $800 of my income towards my student loans. Usually this gets parsed out and about $600 goes towards this Sallie Mae loan number 1, or whatever loan is the highest interest rate. And then $200 goes towards the next one, which still meets the minimum requirement on that loan, but is a lower interest rate. So about $200 goes towards Sallie Mae loan at number 2. Since September, I have been faithfully and somewhat aggressively paying off my student loans as much as I can contribute each month. I'll be honest with you, last month I didn't contribute a lot extra because I had some random unexpected expenses come up in my budget. I had to buy a new washing machine, and on top of that, I had to buy professional liability insurance. If you're wondering why I had to do that, go check out my recent update video on my new side hustle that I'm taking on, which required me to have professional liability insurance, which was kind of a large chunk of cash to just pull out of my back pocket. So those two expenses added on top of each other made it so last month I wasn't really able to throw a super large extra chunk onto my student loan debt, but that's okay. We still made some significant progress. So let's go ahead now and look at the new numbers for each of these loans. So starting off with Sallie Mae loan number 2, which I'm starting with this one because it's the one that's gonna have kind of the lowest change in it, especially considering this is the one that usually only gets about $200 each month contributed towards it, because it's a low interest rate and the other one is higher, so I'm targeting that one more aggressively. The new amount for Sallie Mae loan number 2 is $11,501.27. So that's a pretty significant change, especially, considering that I'm only putting about $200 towards that each and every month, because it's not my main focus. As you can see, by putting in that new amount into Sallie Mae loan number 2, that has now dropped me below the $90,000 mark on my student loans, which I know that's still an astronomical amount of student loans I still have to pay off, but that's a big win for me. Every $10,000 I pay off, it just feels like a little bit more weight has been lifted off my shoulders, a little bit easier to breathe, I guess. So that's a nice accomplishment to make here so far. But then, drum roll please, we have to input Sallie Mae loan number 1, which is, this is the one that has the most significant change since I last updated you guys. And now we are at, for Sallie Mae loan number 1, the one with the highest interest rate loan that I have on any debt I own, we are now sitting at $3,160.33. Quite a significant change. Let me push enter. Boom. We are now down to $86,068.75 for my total student loan payments that I still need to make. Once again, that looks really high, but it's actually quite a bit lower from when I first started. And this journey has been a consistent one, which I am thankful for. I'm thankful that I'm able to make these consistent payments and extra payments each month towards my student loans. And I thank you guys so much for being there with me and encouraging me on this journey. Let's go ahead now and continue to input this number, this 86,000, into the student debt by month portion of the spreadsheet. So let me kind of copy and paste this number. Well, actually, I've learned in the past I can't do that, otherwise it goes nuts. So let me put it in for December. Let's put in $86,068.75. I'm gonna fix the font, don't worry, because that is supposed to be size 12 and it's not. So boom, there we are. We've put it down here, and we can see that it has updated my graph, which is continuing to make the downward stair-step climb. Unfortunately, my spreadsheet didn't automatically track the amount of change, but you guys can probably do some quick math. That's at least a $4,000 change, which means that I'm kind of on track with my typical average monthly change, because usually it's around $2,000, $2,200 in that range. So even though I didn't post any updates for October and November, I'm still on track with my typical average monthly change for my student loan payments, which is a good sign. It shows that even if I'm not being consistent on here, I'm at least being consistent kind of where it really matters in my student loan payments. I also want to tell you guys that I'm going to be making probably a second student loan update video for the month of December. At the time of filming this, I've wanted to get out an update video as soon as possible because, like I said, it's been over 2 months since my last student loan update video. And another thing is that today is the day that another $800 is going to be contributed towards my student loan debts for my Sallie Mae loan accounts. And at the end of the month, as long as we are able to, and I didn't overspend for Christmas, I will be able to chuck another amount of cash towards these student loans. If you remember from my money goals video that I posted quite a while back, I think it's been a couple months now, I said that I would love to be out of the woods with my Sallie Mae loan number 1 account by the beginning of next year. As you guys know, these federal loans, which are currently in deferment, that deferment is ending the beginning of next year, and it would just be so awesome to completely eliminate this Sallie Mae loan number 1. So we're gonna have another $600 go towards that, and we will see where we are standing come beginning of January. I know the federal loans deferment ends the beginning of next year, but because I was making additional payments on them even during the deferment, they're actually not going to be due for me, I believe, until March or April. So if I want to, I can still, at least for the first 2 to 3 months, push really heavy towards my Sallie Mae loan, my private loans, before I begin targeting my federal loans. I think that might be the strategy if I'm not able to completely eliminate Sallie Mae loan number 1 by January, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. I don't know if I want to risk dumping like $2,000 extra on top of something I didn't budget for, but we'll see. I thank you guys so much for watching this update. I really appreciate you guys coming back on here and watching these videos. and sending me encouraging comments of, telling me you're just rooting me on, and even sharing with me and this channel how your student loan debt progress is going. I know a lot of people who watch this content are also in student loan debt themselves, or mortgage debt, or car debt, or whatever. So if you wouldn't mind, please share down below in the comment section with how you're doing, with how it's going this month, the last month of 2021, with paying off your debts. And I look forward to hearing from you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.